If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells have stopped. Manda da basata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost!
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe? Send us the cash.
Welcome to the Bible Dumb Podcast. I am your host, Davey Hill.
And I'm Jesse Hill.
This is the podcast where two atheists read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Special thanks to executive producer Terry Lynn Bradford.
Thank you, Terry.
And welcome back. I'm excited that to be back for another episode. And Jesse, do you remember anything that happened last time we read the Bible?
Nope, not a bit.
That's becoming a reoccurring issue here. Well, don't worry. After editing, I have a pretty good recollection. So, let's see. First, Moses and the Israelites fled from Egypt. They parted the Red Sea.
Was that last time?
They pulled the old Lord of the Rings trick where they run across the river and then the horses come and wash away the bad guys.
Yes.
Which is Pharaoh and his chariots and stuff. And then we had a song. Moses sang a song.
That's right.
Which someone on YouTube said we did a good job. So
Nice.
That made me happy because that was a lot of singing.
It was a lot of singing.
And then after that, they found a bunch of bread. Bunch of little dots.
Oh, that's right.
Made bread out of it and ate it. So
yeah. Okay. All right.
That was everything that happened last time. And then also, we got our first letter. Someone actually wrote in to BibleDumbPodcast@gmail.com.
Yay!
Don't worry, he didn't tell us how bread works. But
all over the bread.
So I guess we got a new segment now. The scriptures. We can read our holy scriptures. Does that work? All right, so Scott wrote in and he said, I adore your fresh take on an old, very silly book. Fellow atheist here, indoctrinated at an early age in the Missouri Synod Lutheran brand of Christianity, but left in my teen years when my critical thinking kicked in. Yo, same. All the Catholic guilt without all the decorations in the church. That's kind of a bummer. Because, okay. So Steve, been on the pod before. He was our circumcision expert, if everyone remembers. He recently stayed in a Airbnb in Maryland, and it had some Catholic decorations.
So was it?
Yeah, it was like a
church,
renovated old church.
Yeah.
And it had this like giant stained glass picture. Like it was huge. It was like 2 stories. Picture of Jesus. I'll have to I'll post his picture on the podcast of it so that maybe it wasn't 2 stories. It was pretty big.
It was pretty big.
Like so big that he had a cage. Like a chain link fence behind the bed on the 2nd story so people wouldn't fall backwards. Anyways, cool looking apartment.
Yeah.
The point of this story is that it's a shame that Scott didn't get some of the cool Catholic decorations and stuff in the old, what was it? Synod Lutheran? I don't know what synod means.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Heard of Lutheran.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no fun saints to pray to, no censers filled with incense. Got the altar boys, just not as much of the icky priest stuff. That's good.
That's good.
Thank God.
Still sounds really intense, though.
Yeah. And then he said, ugh to the movie The Ten Commandments will be more interesting if you know the source material. Charlton Heston couldn't act his way out of a paper bag, but he had had an iconic voice, which I agree. He did have an iconic voice. I always think of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if his acting's that bad in Planet of the Apes. I don't remember Ten Commandments, but well, I guess it was. It was very dramatic. Oh, we need to watch Planet of the Apes then. That's a good movie. Said it'd be entertaining to see a react video of us watching the movie. I've been trying to convince you to watch some of these movies. Okay, we're getting a no. Anyway, he forgave us for calling his state the wrong M state. I told him, hey, that's just typical Texans, center of the universe over here. But that was cool. Thanks for writing in. It's cool, like I said, to know that someone's listening. And we'd still be doing it even if nobody was listening. Yeah. But it is cool to know. All right, so I think we should jump in. We got some chapters to get through here. And any predictions for what happens now?
I have no idea. I feel like they did all the big stuff, so there's nothing left.
There's a lot of Exodus left.
In the parting of the seas, the whole thing?
Yeah, they've exodized. They're gone. They're gone out of Egypt, so.
I feel like that was the whole thing, so I don't know anything else.
All right, well, let's find out. Chapter 17. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses, and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? This is what they did last time.
I was about to say, like, why are they yelling at him? They could go get their own water, but I guess he was like, we gotta go.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean,
I guess if you're bringing that many people, you need to make a plan.
Hardship, but it's like very similar to what they said when they were hungry last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto these people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said to Moses,
Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smoteth the river, take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and the people may drink.
And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So he just like smacked a rock and water shot out?
That's what he's gonna do. He hasn't done it yet, right?
No. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel.
I got really distracted. Did he then just go do it? God told him to do that.
Yeah, God told him to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it said, and Moses did so in the sight of the elders.
Okay.
You're used to just the Bible making us repeat the same shit. Where was I? And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Then came Amalek, and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, Choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill, with the rod of God in my hand. Who's Joshua?
I don't know.
Is this a new character?
We've had a Joshua. No, we've had a Joseph.
Yeah, that was Joseph.
I don't know who Joshua is.
I think this is our first Joshua. I don't remember there being another one.
I don't either.
All right. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. Is Amalek like a whole country?
I'm so confused.
Or a whole
I have
tribe
no idea what's
of people?
going on.
Well, they're fighting with Amalek, but what I'm confused about is Amalek a person or like a tribe of people?
I don't know.
Because it's saying Israel fought with them, and Israel is what he's been calling like the whole tribe of people.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. But apparently, whenever Moses raises his stick, Israel starts winning, and when his arm gets tired and he lowers it, Amalek starts winning. Oh, but Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands. So now Aaron and Hur are just holding his hands above his head.
That is so stupid.
The one on the one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. Okay. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For, he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So who won?
I'm guessing Israel because he kept his hands up all night.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it said it back at the beginning. Like,
oh, Joshua
who-
discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Yeah, so I guess Joshua was the general or whatever. And they won because they were holding up Moses' hands.
yeah. What was it? Other people?
Amalek?
Amalek? What is that? Like,
I don't know. I've never heard of it
it's like-
before.
I don't, yeah. Okay. Mm.
They just appeared out of nowhere.
But they're in forever battle with the Lord.
Now they are.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, what, to just be forever cursed?
Oh, maybe not cursed, but
Oh yeah, big time cursed. The Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. He's just
yeah.
giving him bad juju from forever.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That wouldn't be fun.
No. Chapter 18. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. Okay. And stranger in a strange land, that's what Moses said, or who said that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was what we called our first
Joseph?
Exodus episode.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It went way back in Joseph time?
No, I think it was our first Exodus episode. That's what Moses said. All right.
And wait, his father-in-law saying it now?
No, Gershom.
That's his son?
It's Zipporah's 2 sons. I don't know if it's with Moses or not. I don't know. And the name of the other was Eliezer, for the God of my father, said he, was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh.
Okay.
Because that's what Eliezer means. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am come unto thee and thy wife, and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. It really wants you to remember that Jethro is Moses' father-in-law.
Yes.
And
Which, like, why are we just getting to him now?
It's mentioned him like once before.
And it hasn't ever really mentioned his wife much.
No.
And so, like,
Who's Zipporah?
Yeah.
Moses' wife? Yeah.
When did she come into the story?
A few chapters, like many chapters back. I don't know. It mentioned her. I remember the name because it's kind of a cool name. But what I find weird, well, first, I mean, I guess we can't not mention that the dude's name is Jethro. I mean, no, it's kind of like on the nose. Everybody's already thinking it, but I also did not know that Jethro was a biblical name.
I guess with as popular as it is in the South, I could have guessed.
Well, I mean, it's on the Beverly Hillbillies. I wouldn't call that popular. I don't know if like I've ever actually met a Jethro in my whole life.
I'm sure
it's just
you
kind of
have.
slang for hillbilly now.
I'm sure you have.
Maybe. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Okay, so he's saying don't just like sit around telling everybody what to do, like make some like laws that everybody follows so that it's consistency. Makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands.
Are we getting the 10 Commandments?
Well, maybe. It sounds like it. Sounds like they might be coming up.
Whoa.
Whoa, it's a big
I
one.
forgot about this part.
And rulers over hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. You're just making cops? And let them judge the people at all seasons,
And it shall be, that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and I shall bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace.
So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all he had said. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers over thousands, rulers over hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. All right, so Jethro created government for the Israelis, or the Israelites. Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten the 10 Commandments yet. They're just
Yeah, but
making up their own.
we're on our way there. We're almost there. They're putting it together.
Yeah, we must be.
Something bad's gonna happen, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need a little bit more oversight," and then they're gonna come up with more rules.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's how a normal book would work. Who knows?
Chapter 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up to God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying,
Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. He didn't do that. He's just making stuff up now. Okay, back to it. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Yeah, he never sent
no.
eagles to take them from danger. That's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You can't just make stuff up.
These kids steal from Tolkien.
Dude. Just rewriting history here.
That's crazy. Come on, God.
We had a whole song about it.
Yeah, and eagles were never mentioned once in that
they
song.
They were never in the song.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together, and said, All that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever.
And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people, round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Total Wizard of Oz
what
energy
that is.
here, yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go up to the mountain and give out all the commands, but make sure you tell no one's allowed up there to see God. Otherwise, you'll be put to death.
There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through, whether he be beast or man. It shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount.
So if like a little bird lands on them,
Yeah, boom, capped. Blam.
jeez, a little lizard just happens to crawl by.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
What?
What? It never said it. Okay. So it keeps on doing this thing where it just like throws like some random shit in here that it's never said. He didn't say anything about the third day. He said just don't go up to the mountain. Oh, no, he did say against the third day. Be ready against the third day, for he'll come down within the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. Okay. But they can't go up. Why did he say, come not at your wives?
I don't know.
Guess don't be too busy.
Don't get distracted.
Don't get distracted. We got Lord stuff to do. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. So we got another volcano?
I guess so.
And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. I feel like he's just got Aaron on the other side of the mountain, just like, Commandment 1! And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount. And Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Go down. Charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them.
What is he even saying?
I don't know.
What does it mean to sanctify yourself?
I don't know.
I guess just clean yourself. Like they wash their clothes.
Maybe.
All right. And don't come upon him, or he will break forth upon you.
I'm just trying to figure out, why did they have to wait 3 days?
No, on the third day. That's the day that God's going to come down.
Yeah.
On the third day they were at the mountain, I guess.
Okay.
Said he was going to come down in a cloud of smoke, and then
yeah. And then so this is the third day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But like Moses wasn't up there.
God called him up there. And then he
on
said,
the
go
third
down.
Day.
Yeah, on the third day.
It just seems like this is what was happening the first 2 days. Just nobody could go up on the mountain.
I guess so.
Somebody was planning some shit. This is shady.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
This doesn't make any sense.
Like I said, this is a total Wizard of Oz scenario happening here. Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargedst us, saying, Set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto him,
Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou, and Aaron with thee, but not let the priests and the people break through and come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them.
So God just doesn't trust Moses. He needs Aaron there.
I guess.
Yeah.
He says, go back down. I need both of you guys.
Yeah. Like, dude, you're a dum-dum.
No, that's part of his plan. He's like, I need help to pull this scam.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, Aaron only. Everybody else stay down here. He's going to break forth upon you. What does that mean? Break forth upon them? Just shoot them with lava?
Probably.
So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. And that's the end of the chapter.
Okay.
All right. Chapter 20. And God spake these words, saying,
I am the Lord, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
all right, we're there. These are the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't call them his 10 commandments. He just starts commanding.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be like, number 1.
I know, I kind of was too.
Okay, so first one. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. All right.
Pretty simple.
Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So don't
The
worry.
second one's a little bit more complicated.
All right. No graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath or that is in the water under the earth. So just no pictures.
You can't, so
No statues. No graven image.
you can't have a scenery pic? You can't.
Oh, I don't know. Is that in the earth beneath?
Yeah.
Then hell no. So this is bullshit. Like, I always thought, like, a graven image was like, I thought that meant like an idol, like something you worshipped. But he's just saying, like, don't try to reproduce an image, anything in the heaven, nothing on earth, and nothing in the sea.
Why would that be a commandment?
I don't know. Look up what graven means.
Okay, I've got graven image, Google search. A carved idol or representation of a god used as an object of worship. Okay, so is it like no image of a god from heaven, a god from earth, or a god from the ocean?
Why would
But
you
then
call out like something from the ocean?
Poseidon.
Like that's not even.
But like you're not even allowed to like worship Poseidon.
They don't
so,
even know about the Greeks at this point. Like I don't
No,
even know if the
that's true,
Greeks
but-
existed at this point.
Ideally, God would know, right?
About Poseidon?
Sure.
God's not real. He doesn't
Yeah,
know
but in the
anything.
story, you should know.
But nobody knows about Poseidon. Moses is
Yeah.
telling the story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that's way later, or at least like
Maybe he
a
sees
continent
the future.
away.
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people with lots of different gods, but
I'm sure there are a lot of people worshiping all kinds of stuff.
I do think it's weird that he calls out like heaven, earth, and the water. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Like why wouldn't you just say like don't worship? I mean, he already said don't worship any other gods above me.
This just seems really repetitive.
Like you'd think you just say like no graven
Okay.
images.
Okay.
The fact that he's describing like it's almost like I don't know. Maybe it is just like no idols. Maybe I was right. Maybe that what I've always assumed is right. But it seems like an interpretation. Like it almost seems like graven images means like don't try to reproduce or like make statues.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why that would be a big deal, but
I don't
I don't know. I
either.
just find that's
Well,
a
I
weird one.
guess
Commandment
okay.
2 is weird.
Oh, definitely weird. But okay, I guess it would be inappropriate for you to have, like some kind of, you wouldn't want, I don't know. You wouldn't want to have like a Zeus statue.
Yeah, it'd be like
What?
you being married and then like still having like pictures of your ex-girlfriends up in the house.
Yeah. Or what about our little Pan statue over here?
Oh yeah, we got a cool little
Is
Pan
that-
statue. I got that
Is
in
that a
Italy.
graven image?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude.
One of the earth. We have a graven image in our home. Breaking commandment
Breaking
number 2.
commandment 2.
Have we broken commandment 1? No.
No.
We're good on that one. All gods are equal in our eyes. All right. Commandment 3.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments.
Okay, so that's just like being an asshole, right?
Yeah,
Like-
that's being a little controlling.
It's more than controlling. It's like innocent
Like-
people are being punished for things they didn't do.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be punished for something your father did. You're not the same person. You're
Yeah.
a different person that makes different choices.
Oh, well, that's all over this book.
Well, I know it's been going on since the beginning, but I'm just saying I don't like it.
No,
I'm against
I agree.
it. And even on the opposite end of the spectrum, like I hate it when people take credit for things their ancestors did. Like a big one is like, "Oh, we kicked the Nazis' asses." This is Americans talking. It's like, no, you didn't. Like you weren't alive then. Like you can't take credit for things you didn't do just because you're part of the same government.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like I don't like that the whole like vengeful God punishing generations that didn't do anything wrong.
I got a question. Do you think he's had all of these thoughts in his head before and he's just now sharing them?
Who, God?
Yeah.
No, God's been doing. Yeah, I
Because
think
he's been doing all this
yeah.
since day one.
Yeah, remember? It wasn't Ham that got punished
Mhm.
for seeing Noah's junk.
Yeah,
It was Canaan,
it was.
Ham's son. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you gonna make fun of your dad?
I mean, I guess that's the ultimate punishment for a lot of people. Because you
True.
know, as a parent, you want things to be good for your child.
Yeah, but that's sadistic.
That's
Like,
like
I've
the
heard
ultimate
that's-
way to control somebody, though.
Yeah, I've heard that's what the Russians would do in Stalin's time. Like under Stalin, they would bring in like to control people. They'd bring in their daughters or grandkids or whatever and threaten them. And it's bad, evil.
Very evil.
I certainly wouldn't worship someone who did that.
No.
Just saying. All right, let's get on with these commandments. I think this is number
4.
Was that one?
Yeah, that was one for
That
sure.
was a whole one.
I think so.
Don't make any graven images, and then don't bow down to them. Don't worship them.
Yes.
I feel like you could have combined those two.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So don't idly say his name.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Like, why?
I don't know. I guess the same way that
Okay, so if you're making a religion
I guess like
to
a
control a group of people,
Mhm.
why would you do this one?
maybe as like a form of respect, like you're commanding respect in this way.
I guess so. So, like, here's something I've thought about before. I think like one of the most brilliant pieces of cult hypnosis that people have done in the history of mankind are referring to God as just God and not like by a name or
Oh,
any
yeah.
specificity. Like, because if you just call it, oh, it's just God, it can just mean anything. Like, it can be anything you want it to mean. And so it's very easy to get around like any kind of critical thinking if it's just God is everything. And so if the God you worship has no name and is just the Lord or just God, meaning like whatever you want it to mean, it's very easy to get around like like any kind of refutation or disproving facts. You're just like, well, God is everything. God is anything I want it to be. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
see
I've
that,
mentioned
yeah.
this thought before on this podcast,
Well,
but
also you overtake the name too.
what do you mean?
So like if you name your God God, well, God is like the term for all gods, you know. So yeah, just I don't know how to explain my thought, but I feel like you like hijack the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like
you're taking possession over it so that if you say like, oh, well, God, oh, which God? The God. Oh, okay, the God. You know, like you make it more important than all the other gods.
There's definitely some kind of manipulation going on here. I'm not sure we've quite hit the head. I don't know why this whole take the name in vain thing is going on, but it's some kind of manipulation for sure.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Why?
You remember what the Sabbath was?
Was that when they killed the firstborns?
Nope.
What was the Sabbath?
The Sabbath was when they ate
They ate the little
enough bread on the 6th day that they didn't have to eat any little breads on the 7th day.
Oh, the other one was Passover.
So the Sabbath day was the day they didn't have to eat bread. So remember that day. That's one of these big commandments that they want to put outside of like courthouses and shit. Remember the bread day. Keep it holy.
The Sabbath is the day that you don't eat. The 7th day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the day you don't have to go get bread and eat the bread.
Never see anybody remembering that day.
I mean, so far, like, how many commandments we gone through? Like 4 or 5? There's only 10 of them. All these are still bullshit. Like, none of them have any kind of moral relevance.
Oh,
yeah. Just saying. And this is what they want to put outside of courthouses and stuff for everybody to have to look at. All right. So remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Okay, I've never heard that part. They're leaving parts out of these fucking 10 commandments. Nobody. Okay, this is very selective.
I feel like I've heard the part about not working.
Yeah, not working maybe, but I've never heard anyone saying like don't have your servants work for you and don't like have the cattle do any work. They're definitely having their cattle do work.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah, this is BS.
You can't just like not, milk the cow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be painful for them?
Oh, it goes on. Hold on, there's more about this commandment.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Did we get that in Genesis?
Yeah, it
Did
said
they
that
talk
he
about the
rested on the
seventh day?
7th day, but he didn't call it the Sabbath then. The only first time we heard Sabbath was when the bread thing.
Yeah.
But now he's saying it's the Genesis thing. It's confusing.
Yeah. Is this where the whole Seventh Day Adventist comes from?
I don't know. Apparently it's where the 7th day thing comes from. Anyway. Next.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
That's a pretty good tip.
Sure.
Be nice to your mom and dad. It's good.
Sure.
Agree with that one.
Yeah.
Why not? Unless they're assholes.
Yeah.
Then fuck them. I guess I don't agree. Yeah, I mean, I think you should treat people that treat you well.
Yeah.
So if your mom and dad treat you well, you should really repay that kindness. And if they don't, you should not. You should not treat them with respect. And you should go away from them.
I agree with that.
Okay, so we're still like, what is this, 6? 0 for 6 now? I don't agree with any of these.
Yeah, I've got a problem with every single one.
Yeah. Okay. Not doing great, God, on your commandments. Or I guess we're not doing great following them or agreeing with them.
Thou shalt not kill.
That's it for that
Fair.
one. Yeah,
Fair.
I agree. Not a lot of stipulations there. Just
Yeah.
don't kill.
It's fairly easy.
You'd think so, but they certainly do a lot of sacrifices.
That's true. God has certainly
To
killed
God.
a lot of people.
Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of animals.
Yeah.
Nothing in here about circumcision yet, so that's good. Glad about that.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
That one's fair. I feel like there should be no stipulations with that one. That's, be an adult, you don't want to be in a relationship anymore, then leave. You don't need to cause pain
Not
for
allowed
anybody.
to leave.
Wait, what?
At least in Christianity.
That's true.
Maybe
That's
that
true.
comes later. But no, once
I guess back
they
in this
didn't believe in divorce at the time,
Yeah.
and women had 0 rights.
Yeah.
So what did adultery even mean back then? Like, I guess you should still be faithful to your wife that you select yourself.
They all had handmaids, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like no takebacks. Like, you stole that wife, you have to eat it. Or whatever, eat what's on your plate. It's just a bad analogy, but
Yeah.
think you know what I mean. All right. Next up.
Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
But God has commanded lots of people to steal. Remember when they were leaving? He just
oh yeah.
last
like-
chapter, he told them take all their shit before you leave.
Yeah, he did.
God has killed people. God has looked the other way as people have committed adultery
Mm-hmm.
and not really cared about it. Like, I'm thinking specifically of Lot and his daughters.
Yeah.
And also,
Whoever-
who was Judah?
Yeah.
Judah, who
Yep.
slept with
all of his
his
sons,
son-in-law.
one wife.
Yeah. But I think he was on his way to mourn his wife or something. So maybe that's not adultery, but it's still pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, God does not follow his own commandments. These rules are for thee, not for him.
Yeah. The stealing though, I mean, I guess in theory it's a good thought.
Sure, it's a good rule, but it's really hypocritical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's.
All right, don't be jealous
Okay. Sure.
or covetous of your neighbor's possessions. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. That's good advice.
That is good advice. Mm-hmm.
So when I think of people who follow or claim to follow these commandments, like, it's not a real high bar. Like, don't kill people, don't steal, don't cheat on your spouse. I don't know. I don't have a lot of...
what is the one before this? The don't bear false witness?
Yeah, don't bear false
What
witness.
does that mean?
I guess don't frame people. Don't lie about people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, false witness would be like accusing people of something they didn't do.
Yeah, is that what he's meaning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
those are all very, very easy things.
so how many Christians do you think could name all 10 of these?
5%.
Not a lot, I bet.
No.
Even though they want to put them everywhere. I mean, and the first 5 are basically the same thing. It's basically just like, don't worship any other gods.
Yeah, which I think I've heard that before.
All right, so 10 commandments. Not impressed.
Wait, is that all of them?
That's it.
Wow.
That's all 10.
Okay.
I think he missed some things.
He did?
God? Yeah.
What would you put on there?
I don't know. You want to look up the satanic commandments?
Sure.
All right, let me pull those up. All right, so the temple of Satan, these are the people that whenever someone tries to put up a statue of the 10 commandments, they like put up a Baphomet statue next to it in order to force freedom or equal protection of the First Amendment of freedom of religion, so that even though they don't really believe in Satan or the devil, they know that the Christians do. So by putting up this demonic statue, it causes them to say, okay, yes, the government should be free and separate from religious edicts and symbology and cultish weirdness, like putting up the 10 Commandments in a public space. So, pretty cool. But these are their 7 fundamental tenets. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. Agree.
I like the within reason part. So if somebody
is attacking you or whatever, so better than thou shalt not kill. Basically, strive to act with compassion and empathy. I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Better than honor thy mother and father. Again, if it's not a good relationship, you don't have to honor that.
Yeah, so here's a good one. Number 2. The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Basically the opposite of worship and authority over everything else. It's basically like do what's right, even if the authority is telling you what to do, something different.
Yeah.
Number 3, one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. That's
Perfect.
pretty good. It's good.
Yeah.
Respect for individuals. 4, the freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. To willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own.
I like that.
All right. So respect freedoms, including the freedom to offend. I like that. Very punk. 5, beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like trying to claim the earth is flat.
Yeah. Number 6, people are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused.
That's sweet.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And it's very Responsible. It's taking ownership of it. Like this is about yourself. It's not about other people.
Right.
Like I was expecting something about forgiveness to come, but it wasn't about forgiveness. It was about like, no, you can make mistakes and you need to rectify them if you make them or do your best to.
And it's not so much about you're not allowed to make mistakes. It's you will make mistakes, but you need to.
It's all about responsibility.
Yeah.
Cool.
You need to fix it.
Good. Number 7, last one. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty good. Kind of like these 7. Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And although I do not believe in Satan, I think these are pretty well written.
I think so.
Those are some good tenets to live by. Just saying, just trying to give even credit here. As long as we're reading commandments and tenets, let's do both sides.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. Back to the Bible. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, and thine oxen, and all places where I record my name I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone, for if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
All right, so he says, Thou shalt not kill, but go make a bunch of offerings. Because he just means humans. I'm guessing they're just offering animals. And he'll bless thee, and then make an altar of stone, but don't use any tools to hew the stone. You just have to find like a stone out in nature.
Is that why everybody makes a big deal about finding stuff with Jesus' face on it?
I don't think so. Usually that's on like a tortilla or some shit.
Definitely that. They'll be like, look on this rock. You can see Jesus' face.
No, this is weird. It's like make an altar, but don't like carve it. Because if you use a tool upon it, you've polluted it. So it's got to be just like a regular rock.
Okay.
And then he says, Don't go up by steps unto his altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
I don't know what that means.
What does that have to do with steps? Don't go up steps to the altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
I don't know what that last part means. I don't know.
Don't fuck on the altar.
I don't think so.
Just like, I know we got this cool rock we found. No tool has touched. I know what you guys are thinking. Don't do it. Stay off my altar, you horny little jerks.
Okay, but it doesn't. Okay, so God doesn't want them to see him in a vulnerable state.
I don't know.
I guess they can't. I guess they can't like go up too close to the altar. Like it needs to be at a higher location. It needs to be separate. Does that?
I guess it's got to be an altar of earth. It has to be like not carved or touched by any tool.
Yeah.
You have to make a bunch of offerings to him. And then, yeah, I mean, then he will come to thee and bless thee. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. I don't know. Nobody's doing this that I know of.
Well, is this why people want to put God in everything?
Well, they shouldn't because it can't be touched by tools. It has to be out in nature.
We'll just put the word
What, Jehovah?
God.
That's not his name, though.
I guess so, yeah.
And they can't just put it in vain. Anyway.
Well, they put it on money. They put it on the Pledge of Allegiance. They put it...
All right, well, I was expecting a lot more from the Ten Commandments. Kind of was disappointing.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be more like... I mean, I'd heard them before, but...
I
He
was
spent a
kinda-
lot
okay.
more time on the whole Sabbath thing than he did on the whole, like, don't kill thing.
Yeah, what I was expecting was them to, like, go up and it would all the lightning would etch it into the stone and it'd be really cool and then they'd find it and that's...
No, there's
just
no
like-
stones. It didn't mention any stones. Yeah, what happened to the tablets?
I don't know.
Wasn't he supposed to come down with 2 tablets from the mountain? Is that just the movie?
I don't know.
Well, it didn't happen here.
Well, has he come down yet? I guess he hasn't come down yet.
Well, yeah, he came down and told him all the commandments, right?
I don't think so. They were all
I
just
don't
standing down
know.
there and they were like, don't let us hear.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's like some thunder and lightning, and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to hear what God said. All right, that's enough for tonight. So decide for yourself which commandments you find more inspiring, or don't follow any of them. Do your own thing.
Make your own rules.
Yeah.
Live your own life.
Live your own life. Do what you want to do. Stay dumb, everybody. Bye.
Stay there.